What's going on, everybody? If you are catching this on the replay, go ahead and scroll through. What I'm going to do is I will put up 2 thumbs up just like this, and that will signify the start of the content of the weekly weigh-in monthly recap edition. So go ahead and scroll through if you like, but for now we're going to wait on some people. We're going to wait on these notifications to go out. We're going to wait on some people to pop in here. I'm going to say hello. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So I don't know how many people we're gonna get in here, being that today is Super Bowl Sunday. I imagine a lot of people go home for that. Anyway, what's up, Riley? What's up, Thomas? What's up, Mr. Tangretti? Good morning. Yeah. What's up, Frank? Hi, everybody. If you could please give the video a thumbs up, that actually helps YouTube send this out and let everybody know that I am live. What's up, George? What's going on, Dale? Can you guys hear me okay? Georgetown, Kentucky. What's going on, Todd? Hey, what's up, Sammy? He made it. Cool. Oh, it's going pretty good, Riley. Go Rams, Charles. You must have watched my other one. Hey, what's up, Thor? What's up, Scott? What's going on, Thomas? Charles Pugh II. What's up, man? Dirty Dan, loud and clear. Cool. Mr. Coker, what's going on, man? Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Mr. McCready. Yeah, guys, first of all, I'm sick. I'm sure you could probably hear it. So I've just kind of been, I've kind of been avoiding YouTube for a little while. Man, I don't like the way I sound, and normally when I get sick, man, it just it puts me on my butt. I'm a baby, I don't get sick very often, and I've been sick quite a bit here lately. Just is what it is. But yeah, anyway, so that's why I sound funny. I don't even know what I sound like. I can barely hear myself. But today we're going to go over the monthly recap for January. Now, in the weekly weigh-ins, I started kind of mid-January, so I had to go back and do all of my old numbers in the future. Hopefully, top of the morning to you. Hopefully, I'll have all of those weeks out. So that way, if you desire to go back and double check all of my math, make sure, I don't know, whatever it is you want to make sure of, you'll be able to do that in the future. But for this one, I just had to write everything down. And yeah, this month was really a month of, chasing those miles, trying to, I stayed out pretty much the entire, well, was it the entire month? Oh, it was close to the entire month of January. So it was a lot of mileage chasing. It was a lot of hopping. I realized that I deadheaded quite a bit. Didn't know that I had bounced around that much, but you guys will see that here shortly. Been kind of slow here in Sweden. Well, man, maybe it's a worldwide thing, Mr. Dan. It's certainly slow over here in the United States. I don't know if you follow any of the other YouTubers here from the States, but this is kind of everybody's really seeing this. It's really affected spot market, and it's certainly spilling over into companies that that we are leased onto. So anyway, before all you guys showed up, I told everybody catching this on the replay that I would signal them to start the content. So we are going to get started, and that was the signal for them. So January 2019 was kind of interesting. I did better than last year, but I worked a little bit more and also have a better understanding. So as we, obviously as I work more and I get more years under my belt, obviously things will get better for me, at least hopefully. Hopefully I'm learning from past either mistakes or just past experiences. You should always go back and look at and really write down everything and see it on paper. It's like I said, the deadhead, it kind of surprised me this month. So I'll do the best that I can, coming up these next few months to try to work on that, to try to keep that down. But at the same time, I'm not afraid to deadhead, to go chase those good miles. You'll be able to see that in the loaded mileage pay versus the deadhead mileage, all of that added in. So let's go ahead and get into it. The total that I made for the month of January was $18,783.29. I think compared to last year, I want to say I made like 16 and some change, and I worked about the same amount. So did a little bit better this year. We're just gonna go into the total mileage. I'm not gonna break down all those other loads that I did prior to that were not posted on YouTube. It's kind of irrelevant. We're just gonna wrap up the monthly. We recap all those numbers. So my deadhead mileage, get ready for this. I deadheaded a total of 1,778 miles in January. Whoo, that's a lot. The My loaded mileage, I ran 9,304 loaded miles. So my total mileage was 11,082 miles. The deadhead percentage on that was about 19%. It was a hair over 19%, but right at 19%. That's not atypical for a flatbed driver to deadhead that much. So overall it's not bad, but that's higher than what I had to do last year. So just is what it is. My total loaded pay per miles, this is just my loaded miles, for what I made, was $2.02 per mile. So it did pretty good on the loaded mileage. But when you factor in that massive deadhead, that drops that down to about $1.69 a mile. So it's it is what it is. So yeah, that's the total numbers. Come to find out, I wasn't I wasn't gonna, yeah, I know, right? I wasn't gonna share all of this, but I might as well, for transparency. You guys, man, I make mistakes too. And this was kind of a big one. I'm really ashamed that I did this one, but apparently one of my UPS runs, I didn't get paid on it, so I didn't get that settlement. And I got a call, and they asked me to scan in that paperwork, so basically just the signed bill of lading, and all right, whatever. So sign that bill of lading and send that in, and I wound up getting paid on a load that I actually ran last year for January. So technically, I made $20,177.98, for the month of January. But as far as breaking down those actual numbers, I just wanted to use what I made for this month, because I screwed up. That doesn't really count as far as as far as how much I made, and it's going to figure into my numbers. But still, money's money, and I didn't get it last year, so I'm getting it this year. That's kind of cool. So anyway, that's where we're at for the month of January. You guys, let me see if I scrolled back. I'm sure I probably missed something. Let's see here. Alrighty. Been slow here. Okay, I was come to the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, I've bluish hue. Daniel McCarthy, aka Stronger by the Mile. You guys should check out his channel. He's got a good channel. He was analyzing, now he runs reefer, but he was analyzing the markets, and he's going to position himself, I believe, in either the northeast quadrant of the United States or the northwest. Now I know that those Oregon permits are kind of massive for one truck operations, so I don't know if he's actually going to go out there to the Pacific Northwest, but right now that's kind of where the money's at. Because all those snowbirds like to fly south. Frank Martinez says, not slow for me. Yeah, that's when you run company, it's not quite slow. But I do believe you did deadhead from Dallas up to South Dakota, did you not? There you go. So yep, always slow this time of year. I agree with you, Dirty Dan. Wowzers. Yeah, I remember you saying that. Without haters, you're not doing nothing. Whatever, dude. Yeah, I've got two eyes, and I can see what's really going on, so it's whatever. What's up, party people? Mr. Hamilton. No service for you, Dixie. What's going on, Anthony Facer? I didn't even I missed that one. Hey, what's up, Mr. McCarthy? Keep it rolling, says Jordan. Appreciate it. Oh, is he still? Hey, guys, don't worry about deleting those comments. I don't care. He can say whatever he wants to say. I'm breaking up. Yeah, I mean, I don't get the greatest service right now. I'm sitting in Kinley, North Carolina, and what's up, Big Billy? Kinley, North Carolina. Apparently, I don't get very good service over here. So, just I mean, I still need to do it. I said I was going to do it on today, so we're doing it. Can I repeat what I did for the month of January? I wanted to compare to mine since I haven't been working too hard lately. Just real quick. Let's see here. My total pay was $18,783.29. My loaded pay per miles was $2.02 a mile, and my if you add in all of my deadhead, it was about $1.69 per mile. Total mileage was 11,082 miles, and the loaded miles was 9,304. So you should be able to get all the numbers from that. But yeah. So let's see. Mr. Garrett says, "What's up, Big Billy? How did my issue with breakdown work out?" Aha. Okay. So yeah, I'm torn whether or not I'm gonna actually make a video about it. What I can say about that is I did have someone in upper management reach out to me, and they did their investigation. They looked into everything, and TA certainly resolved the situation, and it was fair for both parties. So I know that's vague, but I don't want to, I don't want to put any of the details out there. They didn't say whether or not I could or could not put that out there, but I just feel it's just in the best interest of both parties for me to just kind of just say that it was resolved very fairly. I'm very appreciative of what they did. So that's really all that I can say about that. Hopefully that answered the question and I wasn't too terribly vague, but love that place, Kinley at Petro. Yeah, man, me too. Man, I love going in there and checking all that stuff out, checking out everything that you can do for the trucks. I mean, they redid. I don't know if for any of you guys that have not been out to Kinley in a while, sometime I believe it was last year, they redid. They redid the building. They redid a lot of the Kinley 95 over here, and basically the Kinley 95, if you don't know, is I don't know if it's a sister. You'd call it a sister truck stop to the Iowa 80. But it's similar to an Iowa 80. It's owned by the same company, I do believe. You've got quite a few. I think they have 5 or 6 total. You've got the Kinley 95. You've got the Iowa 80. You've got the Joplin 44, and all of those are kind of the same type of truck stops, and they're owned by the same people. But man, they're fantastic truck stops. They've got a ton of stuff. It's really, really cool. So let's see here. Short runs, less than 1,000 out of San Diego, doing okay. That's cool, Ray. FYI, new original Outcast Mafia apparel is available now on Teespring, says Thor. Oh, that's cool, man. You guys check it out. Thor's got some new merch up on Teespring. Frank, what are you talking about? No. What motor's in my truck? I have the 2250 Cummins motor. It is my truck is a 2013 T660. The motor is a 2012 2250. It's a pretty good motor. It's not the best. I won't be doing any kind of heavy haul with it. Anything more than 80,000. I try to keep it light because it's a single overhead cam. That was a little bit of the downside to that motor. This motor's Achilles heel would be the fuel pump, the tappets, and the man, I'm having a brain fart, guys. My brain is a little foggy. But anyway, parts of the fuel pump were made out of ceramic. So if you just make sure then you update, the fuel pump, you'll be good to go. But other than that, I mean, it's been a really good motor, for me so far. Yeah, I've got an oil leak, but I mean, everything's gonna have oil leaks, so it is what it is. But it's been running really, really, really well. They finished it now. Yeah, Charles. Yeah, it's all done. I don't know how long ago they finished it. Like I said, I don't typically come all the way over here, but I figured I was close. I was only about 20 miles away, so I thought I'd check it out. I could have done my reset down in Benson, North Carolina, but it was about equidistant from where I'm delivering. So why not come check out one of the sweet one of the sweet truck stops in the nation. You're not always by them, so might as well check it out. I'm at the next best place at the TA in Rafine, Virginia. Man, I haven't been there in a while. Hey, what's up, Guillermo? Guillermo's in San Antonio. Anthony Facers says at Thor, hope all is well with you and the fam. CK Driver says 10 speed. Yes, it is a 10 speed. That's something certainly I wish it wasn't. I wish it was a 13 or an 18. And the type of transmission that I have in this truck, I would have to literally replace everything. There's no kind of kit, no adaptation that I can make to turn it into a 13 or an 18. I would have to just replace it all, and man, quite frankly, I'm just not doing that. So the 10 speed works fine. Like I said, not doing any heavy haul or anything like that. Yeah, ideally it'd be at least a 13 speed, but if to buy, from my first truck that I own personally, I think I did pretty well. It's not my ideal truck, but it treats me really well. I try to treat her really well, and yeah, 10 speed it is. Charles Brand says, "What's up? Makes sense. Good to hear." H-Town. Yeah, I'm from H-Town. Is that person talking trash? Because that's just ignorant. H-Town says good, or somebody says, Thor says good luck with that. Jerry, I generally don't repeat my mistakes, mostly because I'm busy making new ones. Man, I know that's right. Amen to that, brother. Man, there's always be in a state of analysis. Don't get analysis paralysis, but try to look back on what you've done. I think a good kind of time marker would be every quarter. If you look at what you're doing every quarter and see what's going on, then you can more readily adapt to what you've been doing, and hopefully you have a good idea of what the markets have been doing. Being really a student of this game is really going to, being a student of the trucking game and increasing your money management skills, I think, are probably the two most important things as far as being a trucker, not necessarily hanging on to the steering wheel and going down the road. Those two are probably some of the most important things as far as being a owner-operator, or an owner-operator, excuse me. What's up, Jason? You're late, man. It's all good. Better late than never, right? Mr. Tangrady still will never ever do business with any sort of TA. I don't blame you. I'll say that. Why don't your buddy Make Sense come to Mercer? You go to work where he is. Well, Mr. Hamilton, I mean, I can't necessarily speak for Sammy, but Sammy has been out crushing his own authority for quite a while. Whenever I really broke down the difference between having your own authority and leasing on to a company, you really need to be in a very, very solid position in order to get your own authority. Now, obviously, I haven't been there, but I have put in some research, and getting through those first 3 to 6 months of having your own numbers is very, very difficult. You can only run for a certain amount of brokers, so not all the freight is really available to you, and especially not the good freight that's out there. Yeah, sure, you can try to chase down your own customers, but that's difficult being a one-man operation or even a one-truck operation. So when I look at the benefits as far as being leased onto larger companies like Mercer or like Landstar, they have, their rates are much, much higher than some of the other places that you can go run for that you make higher percentage. Yeah, sure, you may make higher percentage, but that doesn't matter. It matters how much you keep, and the rates at a place like Mercer or Landstar are much higher, even though you're getting a smaller percentage. Then you got to take into consideration the tire discount, the fuel discount. The fuel discount is massive. I mean, so whenever there's just a lot of factors that you need to factor in, and for me to go work for someone else that doesn't have necessarily all of those benefits, it doesn't financially make sense to me in order to do something like that. And I mean, like I said, I can't speak for Sammy, but I mean, he's got his own MC, he's doing his own thing, he's set up, he knows, he's been doing this a long time, a lot longer than I have. And man, he, this and I would say that there is no right way to do this. It is about what you need to make, how much or how profitable you can be, and whatever works for you, whatever is going to bring you the most happiness is where you need to be. So success, it looks different for everybody out here. So that's the long-winded answer. Let's see here. Alrighty. Well said, Daniel. What did Daniel say? Hey, what's up, Mr. Moore? Wanted to thank you for the email response. Oh, no problem, Mr. McCready. Hey, guys, yeah, I try to do the best I can as far as responding to emails. It is slow going, and I do the best, especially, as far as Instagram. I am on Instagram, Driven Trucking. I'm on Twitter, Driven Trucking. I'm not very active on Twitter. I'm trying to be. I'm a little bit more active on Instagram. It's the messaging system I feel on Instagram is far superior than what we have as far as just comments are concerned. So if you have kind of personal questions or something you don't want to ask in the comments, feel free to, shoot me a message on Instagram. I will try to get back to you. And I'm more active other times than I am some other times, whatever, but I try to do the best I can as far as getting back with everybody. The channel is growing. I mean, we're up to over 2,500 subscribers, so that's exciting. And the task is becoming a lot more daunting as far as me actually getting back with everyone or even keeping up with the comments. So full-time job, guys, full-time job. I do the best I can. And late to, hey, what's up, Nasty Habits? Well said, Daniel. Now is the time to watch Charlie Brown. I'm pretty sure Daniel watched Charlie the other day. Makes sense. I like having my own MC, and the insurance is too much to add, guys. Is too much to add, guys, I believe. Let's see. Mr. Pugh says he got an average of 7.9 miles per gallon hauling 25K out of his Cummins 2350 so far. Man, that's amazing. Hey, Charles, what truck is it? Because that makes a huge difference, if it's an aerodynamic truck or if it's a hood. Mr. McCready says when he stays out of prison, right? Yeah, that's what it is, man. Sammy's doing time right now, so that's thank you, Daniel. Respect, no worries, just another wishful thinker. What did Daniel say? I must have missed something, or I can't see it. The rollers and plungers. Thank you, Sammy. Good grief. Oh, Sammy saw the hoodies on Instagram. Okay, so what I was referring to on Teespring, Thor's original Outcast Mafia merch that he posted. Sammy says he saw the hoodies on Instagram and said they're nice. So you guys check those out. I need to do the same. I need to follow you on Instagram there, Thor. Do I ever run with Super Trucker Dan? No, I don't, man. I don't run with anybody. I wish I could, but there's just, Mercer's it's not open market. It's not where, we have just a ton of freight and we can just choose, I want to go to Kansas City tomorrow and I can go to Kansas City. It's not necessarily like that. It is more freedom than a lot of companies, and I'm talking a lot of companies, but You don't have ultimate freedom like you would if you had your own numbers. So for us to, to really run with someone, that would be difficult. And I don't even know how many trucks we have on at Mercer now. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I think we're over 3,000 trucks now. I haven't even ran across Super Trucker Dan yet, so I don't, I haven't met him yet. I hear he's a pretty nice guy, but I do hear that he kind of keeps to himself. So, hey, what's up, Hugo? That's my buddy Hugo. He's in the house. Let's see. I'm walking around the parking lot getting my exercise. Oh, nice. Good for you, Steve. Man, that's something that I really want to incorporate into my routine this year. I've always been a guy that's been in fairly good shape. My shape now is just round, so I really want to get back into that. But I'm taking. I encourage you guys to maybe try something like this because I've always been the type that I need to change one, two, three, four, five, 10 different things, and I try to do all 10 at the same time, and I can't do them all because my focus is too scattered. So I've decided in the year of 2019, I'm going to take one thing a month, and I'm going to work on that one thing, and then I'm going to try to incorporate that into my routine, make that habit, and then in the next month, I'm going to add something additional, and I'm just going to keep doing that. And then by the end of the year, which is really overall is not that much time, I will have changed 12 things. I think if you can change 12 things, is it buffering? I don't know. I mean, your guys' comments are still scrolling, so maybe. But anyway, if you could change 12 things about yourself, man, that's huge. So that's my goal. I encourage you guys to try to do something like that. If you guys want to change, I mean, if you don't, hey, be you. If I had to get another truck, what would it be? Mr. Riley asks. Wish I could get 6.75 out of my 389. What's up, Super Trucker? I didn't go back far enough. Okay, so if I had to get another truck, what would it be? Oh man, that's a loaded question. Or that's a tough question because there's so many sweet trucks out there, man. I mean, having a brand new, 389 decked out, like a Peterbilt Steve ride would be sweet. If you can afford it, that's one of those things. And I've got mortgage, I've got 2 cars, I've got 2 kids, I've got, my lovely wife. I've got a lot of things I got to pay for. So, I don't see, maybe it'll happen, but, as far as a new Peterbilt Steve ride in my future, it may be some time down the road. If I had to add a truck right now, I would probably try to add somewhere between a year 2000 and a 2003 379 extended hood with a 6NZ motor in it. Yeah, that's the route that I would go. A 6NZ is just an incredible motor. So that's what I would try to add. Those would be my dream trucks. Let's see here. Big Rig Rex, what's up, man? Thanks for the channel. Considering Mercer, decided to go owner operator. I appreciate that, man. I'm gonna say this again, and I know I say this a lot. The info that I put out there, guys, I am not trying to influence you guys into coming to Mercer. I'm not trying to influence you guys into doing flatbed. I'm putting my information out there so you guys can take that info, analyze it, and then do whatever it is you want to do with it. That's the reason why I do this channel. I also have some stuff that I try to teach, and just try to give you guys some pointers here or there. But my information that I put out there, it is solely just that. It is just information. So I hope you guys learn from that information and it is useful to you guys, and you're able to put that into use and maybe make yourself, what you have going on, better for your situation. That's why I do this. I hope you guys enjoy it and or appreciate it. Charles Brett, what'd you say, man? You retracted it. And Big Billy's laughing, so. Is there an oil field in Rafine, Guillermo? I don't know. I know there's some oil fields out in Virginia. I had my old trainer. He went out there for a little while. 2015 Pro Star with a reman. 2018 fuel pump was upgraded. Cummins says. Okay, that's good. Yeah, man, them Pro Stars, they get really good fuel mileage. So you're doing well. You're doing really well. It always shocks me whenever I see, like Sammy, he's sent over, God, what was he doing? Like 7.8 or 7.9, just something crazy. I mean, he's got a long W9. So whenever he's getting some fuel mileage like that, I look down at mine. Right now I'm sitting at like 6.5. It's just like, man, what am I doing wrong? I mean, I say that. I mean, I know how to get it up if I really need to. Nasty Habits is home in sunny SoCal, but it's not so. It's raining over there. Oh man, stay off the interstates. Man, I love SoCal, but holy cow, they don't know how to drive when it rains. Seriously, no idea. No in Texas, yes. So I think y'all are having a different conversation. I've used 4 different trucks. It's either a Freightliner or Volvo that you would buy. Mr. Tangretti says. Nothing wrong with either one of those. Instagram page is Original Outcast. Man, I'm gonna check it out, man. 389 all the way, says Guillermo. Mr. McCarthy says large car life, for sure. Where are you, Big Billy? Hey, where you at, Big Billy? Steve Hamilton wants to know. Always go Peterbilt #1 and Kenworth #2 and don't buy anything else, says Richard. What's up, Richard? You really, I mean, there's a lot of different business plans that you can go with, but I mean, as far as resale value and reliability and stuff like that, yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat a Pete or a KW. They're both pack cars, so. Yep, Mr. Facer agrees. He's got so many bills. Yeah, man, I know the feeling. Big Billy, it's a W9 for sure. W9s are sweet. Mr. Tangray likes Kenworths, but he loves the later model Freightliners and the new Volvos. I'll tell you what, man. Hey, okay, so you have one of those new Volvos. I would assume that it has the new Volvo motor in it. I'm curious, what kind of fuel mileage are you getting? And are you typically heavy or medium or light? And how fast do you drive? I'm curious because I've heard that motor gets like 8 miles to the gallon, 80,000 pounds at 70 miles an hour, and I know that's BS. Did I know that Mercer has hot shots? I did not know that, Riley. They have, I mean, they pretty much have everything, but no, I didn't know that. Had no clue. It's time for trucking. Now it's downtime for trucking, but you can still make money. Yeah, absolutely, HQ. I don't know if you saw the earlier comment or the earlier information that I put out. But I mean, I did okay. It's just, and this is something Sammy said. He talked about this in one of his videos. He talked about, really now is the time to chase mileage. If you're chasing mileage, then you can still, that's a way to make money in a little bit slower market. So that's kind of what I did, just inevitably, really, in January. That wasn't necessarily my focus, but did all right. Didn't kill it, but did all right. Mercer does. I think Tingray was asking about the hot shots. Yeah, I don't know. Mr. Hill says he loves the 6NZ. He had a 3406B and a 6x4 and 359 in the 80s, man. That's sweet. Yeah, 6NZ. The 3406E, I think, was that, did the E stand for electrical? Did that mean that it could be hooked up to an ELD? I'm curious about that. I may or may not be looking at trucks. 55 miles per hour with like 30K in California. That's what Sammy gets 7. Hey, man. Doesn't matter. He's getting 7. As long as he's on time, that's all that matters, right? Only when it rains. Yeah, Facer, I know. First load is welders, wire headed to Brookshire, Texas. Already down 2 straps. Oh, man, that's a bummer. And that's another reason why I carry furniture pads. I know Mercer sells felt. To me, the felt was a little bit pricey. I mean, it probably lasts longer than the furniture pads, but if you guys are flatbedders or if you guys are using straps a lot and you have to protect those straps, furniture pads work really well. U.S. Cargo Control, actually, they've got really good pricing on furniture pads, and you can get free shipping if you spend over $200. They've got all different quality types. I don't know about the quality. I don't know anything about their stuff. I haven't used their stuff yet. But what I do know is that company has really good pricing on everything. So check out their furniture pads. You can order in bulk. I mean, I would recommend at least 10. You know, I think I'm down to 7 or 8. I think I have 8, and that is like borderline. There was a load. Actually, the load I have right on, I would like to have thrown 2 more, but is what it is. I don't have any holes, so that's good. 1,200 miles, no holes. But I always like to protect my straps if I can, or my, my tarps. It's just expensive to replace and stuff like that. So protect when you can. Caffeinated Cowboy would rather have a KW900 W9. I understand why. Home playing Big Billy's home playing Call of Duty. Sweet, man. Makes sense. Says under 30K and babying it is when he gets 7 miles to a gallon. Hey, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Looking forward to meeting you and Big Billy maybe during the summer in Mercer Town when the grill's fired up. That sounds good, Steve. I'm all about that. The sweet spot seems to be 66 miles per hour and 13, so what, 1350 on the RPM since the rates are so low now. Yeah, it's a good idea. Garrett, he can never bring himself to buy one, but those new Mack trucks do look sweet. I don't know if I could buy one either, but man, they look cool. I like them. Haven't seen any hot shots at Mercer. Maybe they just started. Yeah, I haven't seen any hot shots either. Somebody else was asking me. I've been asked that a couple times on a couple different videos. So I'm kind of thinking maybe, but I mean, I haven't put eyes on any, so I don't know. I do know that Dixie May, he's got his own hot shot authority. You guys can check out his channel. Occasionally he puts out some videos. Be warned, he's a goofball. But anyway, I got his own authority and he runs hot shot. And I know that he has pulled some loads from Mercer. And done really well, but as far as actually being signed on to Mercer, I don't know. I haven't seen any. What's up? Riley says, what's up, Sammy? Nasty Habits, hell no, they don't. How to drive here. Heading out in the morning, head to Jacob Javits, and dang, man, you're going all the way cross country. There you go. That's chasing the miles right there. Sammy's home chilling. Mr. Tangred, he's chopping trees. Sunshine here in Ehrenberg, Arizona. That's pretty nice, Charles. Different pump and ECU. Ray, that's on the 2315. E stands for electronic controlled, and they were out. Okay, so technically, thanks. I appreciate that, Jackknife. So technically, they can be hooked up to an ELD, even though so you could run either. You could run paper, or you could hook those up to an ELD. If I'm understanding correctly. So that opens up some options as far as what I may be considering looking at a truck. Stephen Randall, anyone know the news about gliders and the EPA trying to shut them down? I don't, man. I'm not going to talk on that. To me personally, they're way overpriced. I mean, that's just, like, to me, running a glider. I'm not talking trash about anybody. Anybody that has a glider, please, or God, don't take this the wrong way. To me, that just doesn't make good business sense. Sounds like a Mr. Magoo plan to me. Sammy, Daniel, and you are invited to San Antonio. Oh, sweet! Guillermo, I'm there, man. That's just down the road. I can be there in 3 hours. ELDs will, okay, so Jackknife says, ELDs will work, though, with an electronically controlled cat. They just decided to pick 99 as the cutoff date. All right, cool, man. That's good to know. That's something I would like to know. Is I've seen a couple of 2000 379s that had the 3406E motor in it, but I wasn't sure as far as, the ELD hookup. So, man, I appreciate that. Thank you. Pads are easier to deal with. Man, I agree, Kevin. It's kind of seemed that way to me. Having a big long strip of felt, but you know what, at the same time, maybe that felt kind of tucks away better. I noticed that the pads take up a lot of room. Man, it seems like I've got furniture pads back there for days. Yum. Harbor Freight has them pads for $3. $3? Man, I've never seen them for $3, Guillermo. I mean, I believe you, but dadgum, the cheapest I've seen Harbor Freight have them furniture pads for were like $6, I think. Mighty, Jackknife says Mighty. I'm sure he's talking about Mighty Products. Mighty Products is another good one, for cargo securement. They've got a lot of stuff. I have ordered from Mighty Products, as a matter of fact. Excuse me. Bought some straps through them. They had good pricing on their Kinadyne straps. TTY Pew for Jim. We got some new Max pulling 8 miles per gallon hauling tanker. God dang, really? That's sick, man. I think technology, I just think as the technology gets better and we put, we're kind of seeing that with that X15 motor. That X15 motor is just, man, that motor is sick. That is absolutely sick. And it is doing so well. Reliability is insane. Fuel mileage is to be desired. But I mean, look at the trucks that it's typically dropped into. It's got a lot of power, but it's working really well, even with the DPF still on it and still running. Yeah, man, that's pretty nice. And I just think that that's a product of technology getting better and better. So it's good to hear that Max making a comeback, man. I'd like to see old Optimus Prime back on the road again. Matt's 2019. Everyone bring your grills, man. I hope, Sammy. I hope. The John says, "Hey now, what's up? Don't care for them hot spots. They take away our light loads." Charles says, "Yeah, buddy. You gonna be at Matt's?" Daniel McCarthy says, "Can't wait for Matt's 2019. Hope everyone can make it." I do too. So I'm all caught up now. I think we're gonna end this. We've already been on for like 40 minutes. I appreciate everybody hanging out. I appreciate you guys checking out the monthly recap of the weekly weigh-in. If you are not subscribed, please click that subscribe button down below. Ring that notification bell so you know when my next video is coming out. The weekly weigh-ins will be every Sunday, and when I do the monthly recap, just like this one, I will go live for it, and I will answer questions, so stay tuned. February is not exactly shaping up the greatest, but is what it is, that's just part of trucking, ups and downs. So I will catch these last few comments that have popped up, and then I'm going to sign off, everybody. Appreciate you guys stepping in, taking time. Hey, by the way, I'm just real quick. Who thinks it's going to be the Rams? Who thinks it's going to be the Patriots? Put that down in the comments. I'm curious. I think it's going to be the Pats. Since we're both part of the Lone Mountain Gang, do I think it's going to be hard to trade it in for a Pete like Daniel? Well, Steven, actually, Daniel traded in his Lone Mountain truck for a Pete. It just kind of depends on what position you are in, what kind of equitable position you're in. When you go to trade that in, keep in mind if let's say we do go into a downturn and the market gets worse for trucks, that naturally means that the price of trucks are going to go way down. So if you are kind of dependent on that truck being your down payment for that new Peterbilt, then you're going to have issue with that. But there's proof right there, somebody that did it right there. So I don't necessarily see that there is an issue. And as a matter of fact, Daniel answered that in the next comment. So they're really nice trucks, but still suck to back up with auto. Man, yeah, I'm not a fan of automatic transmission at all. I had to drive one once when I was company, and going backwards I felt stupid. My T 3-piece tarps are nice, makes life a lot easier. Just got to take care of them, that's all. And the airbag fabric ones are light. I'll have to check those out, man. I'm gonna be in the market for some new tarps this year. So balls, big cam, be safe. Guillermo says Rams. Sammy says the Pats. Learned a lot from you and Sammy. I want to thank. I appreciate that, Shady Creek. Appreciate that a lot. Charles says go Rams. Guillermo says go Rams. Dixie says go Rams. When is the game? I think the game's 6:30 Eastern. At least that's what the ESPN app says. Sammy, just for that, Guillermo's unsubscribing. Man, my whole thing with that, just real quick, this will be the last thing. I know I talked about it on the video I did earlier, the weekly recap, but man, this is why I get excited to watch the Patriots, to watch them go for another Super Bowl. This is my reasoning. The reason is you cannot deny that is the greatest head coach and quarterback tandem of all time. They are the strongest dynasty in NFL history, and even pre-NFL when it was, what was it, like AFL, and I forget the other name. But we are watching history. We get to tell our children, we get to tell anybody we talk to, we watch the best